I'm back, guys. I'm back. My voice is a little bit raspy, but I'm back with Mondays with Miko. I hope everybody is doing great out there. I loosen up those vocal cords, guys. And I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. I'm so glad to be back here in my office with you guys. Back to Mondays with Miko. Listen, I have been, hey, Reagan, how are you? Hey, Deborah. I've been just racking up stuff to say that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about from a time for change perspective. But look, it's time to get back in. I got the issues fixed with my Facebook page. So it's time for us to chat again. So hey, check this out. I'm not going to be long today. I really just wanted for us to get reacquainted and to talk about, some little things. Not really little things. It's big things going on in the community. So I want to let you guys know that although I may not have been on Mondays with Miko, I have definitely been out there hustling. I have. I've been hustling. I've been doing the thing. I've been doing what we do with Time for Change so that we can get change in our community. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start off with probably something that some folks don't want to hear me say. And it's time to vote again. Okay. So, and I'm going to talk about the primary election and what the primary means that's different than other elections and why there's certain folks that count on you and your family not to vote. I'm going to break that down. But let's just start off right off the bat with the people who steal our elections in Marion County. And guess what, y'all? They look like us. And so for the folks that are not African Americans that are listening, I think it's important that you know too, because these people who are out there hustling the African American vote for cash, they're hurting you too. Because we need to make progressive change in our county, in our state, and in our nation. And I have been in, hey, Quazella, I have been in Marion County. I moved here full time kind of full time in 2016, right? So we remodeled our house in 2016. We moved here in 2016. And then I decided to run for office in 2019. And then since 2019 is when I started to learn about the political scene here, kind of how it works and what it's all about. But it's been since 2019, going into 2020, that I started hearing about these people who go and they buy votes. They buy votes for liquor, cigarettes, for next to nothing. They straight out steal votes from people, from older people, from elderly people, from grandma, from young people who just don't know that their vote is valuable. So I found about this in 2019 And this was before I ran for office. When I ran for office, y'all, I was actually bribed. And so one day when y'all want to hear about it, and one day when I feel like telling you about it, I'm going to break it down. How was I bribed and who bribed me? But here's the thing, you're listening to my voice and you live in Marion County. You don't even need for me to tell you who I'm talking about. We know. We know who these people are. And let me tell you what they do and how it's impacting you and your family directly. So they may be getting a little bit of cheddar, but it's selling the rest of us down the drain. And whether you are white or black, we're all in this same boat together because we are talking about issues. We're talking about increasing minimum wage. We're talking about getting access to housing in Marion County that's affordable. We're talking about a Highway 73 that's going to come through here and not run through us, but for us to be part of it. Okay? So let me just break it down. I'm gonna try to just tell you because there's going to be more to it. I'm gonna be back on Mondays. I'm gonna keep coming back on Mondays because I tried to be nice. So when I ran for election, I was bribed. They took votes. They did some pretty horrible things that I have proof of, but I never put it out there. All I wanted was for them to stop, for elections to be changed, and elections in Marion County to be fair. That's all I wanted. So, yes, I wrote letters. I wrote letters to officials all over the state. There are 2 SLED investigations. I have the phone number to one SLED investigator on my phone. He done nothing. And there's another SLED investigation that's going on, and they've done nothing. Let me tell you why they've done nothing. Because the cheaters are still cheating. They're still cheating. I have been told, right or wrong, I'm not calling it slander, but and I don't want to say slander because I'm going to tell you, I have not been able to see this proof with myself. But I have been told there's a man who's running for governor. His name is Joe Cunningham. And I've been told that he has the cheaters working for him. So here you are. And let me tell you, he is not my choice. He is against increasing the minimum wage. I got a major problem with that. He went to Congress and sold us out when he went to Congress. So why do we think he won't do it again? But now here he is. He's hired these folks in Marion County to take your vote and give it to him. He doesn't look like us. He doesn't represent our values. But these cheaters are working for him. So this is what we need to do. For a lot of it, it's too late. They're already in the process of harvesting these votes. They've already filled out the ballots the way they want to fill out the ballots, and they're going to be turning them in because our investigators do nothing, the so-called investigators. So they're going to do it. But we could beat them. And the way we beat them is by outmaneuvering them. We have to come out and vote. Hey, good evening, Marilyn. We have to do it. And they depend on us not to. And so those of you that are listening to this live or may actually pick up this live and you're going to listen a little bit later, I know you guys vote. But it's time for y'all to activate and tell 3 to 5 more people. And let me tell you why. Let me just break this down a little bit. So so what I put up there, don't sell your vote. Tell folks don't sell their vote. A lot of people don't even know. They think that, the person's supposed to come and pick up my vote. That's how I vote. No, if you got 2 legs, we need you to go in as long as you have an ID. You have any kind of government ID. South Carolina need ID. We need you to go in and walk in and vote and cast your vote yourself. Do not trust anybody with your vote. And when it comes to your grandma, the elderly in our community, don't let them give their vote to anybody else for any reason. You can help them. Fill it out. Help them. I'm trying to tell you that for these folks to think that the PD region, Marion County, Dillon County, Horry County, we don't matter. They ain't gonna come here and see us because the election is already settled by a couple people who they paid. That ain't right. And we could change it. And when we change it, we will make change in our community. That is a guarantee. So let me break this down. All right. So June 14th, this is what's happening. I wish I'll have, maybe next time I'll have a graphic. But June 14th is what they call the primary. And so in the primary is when Democrats get to pick their candidates and Republicans will pick their candidates. Okay. So Democrats pick the candidates and Republicans pick their candidates. And then in November, the two of them face off. All right. So why is it important for these cheaters to come into the Democratic primary, especially in Black communities? Let me tell you why. Because the Democratic Party is 80% Black. So in this primary, African Americans should be able to choose the candidate of their choice. And if we want to have a candidate for governor that looks like us, then we should be able to have that. If we want to have a candidate for school board, for superintendent of schools, for U.S. Congress, for whatever, and even if they don't look like us, we would want them to represent our values and what's important to our families. This is the time to do it. This is when it's 80% of us, right? So there's some pretty, I'm going to say, conniving folks that look at this and they say, it's been a long-term tradition in the PD region of stealing African American votes. You pay just a few people, you get them to go out and harvest the votes, and you can win. So that's how we end up with candidates who don't come through here, they still win. Candidates who don't look like us and or represent our values, and they still win. But we can change that. I'm trying to tell you, we can change that by going out and voting ourselves and creating a movement that's run by the people and for the people. We could do it. All right, so let me go back. So you've got the Republican primary and you got the Democratic primary, right? So let's just talk about the Democratic primary that's 80% Black. So if we pick our candidate for the primary, then that candidate goes and will probably face off against, I almost said a candidate, because I'm not ready to say a candidate yet. So we pick our candidate and then they will face the Republican candidate, right? So, but if we sell our vote, then that gives the Republicans the opportunity to come into our county and have the candidate they want on both sides. I done said it. And what happens? A couple people get a little bit of change. They get some steaks, some bikes, some computers. And the rest of us get sold down the drain. So there's going to be more coming. You know, like I said, I tried to be nice. I tried to take, let me just write letters to the officials, let the officials know what's going on. Maybe nobody knows this is going on. Maybe this only happened to me. Come to find out, it didn't just happen to me. It's the same players that's been doing it in our county for the longest time, and that is why we are still oppressed. It can change, and it has to change by us having those conversations, okay? So that's my topic one. Don't sell your vote. Let's talk about it. Let's stop whispering about it. Y'all call me, y'all inbox me, y'all tell me what you see. Talk to each other. Stop it. Stop it from happening to our people. All right. And the next election is coming up around the corner. It's June 14th. So check this out. This is what I found out about that election, is that most of us, not just most people, period, don't vote in the primaries. So, but if we did vote in the primaries, we could make a difference. And especially against these cheaters, we could beat them at their own game by pulling those folks out of your house who don't usually go vote on June 14th. It's going to be very important. And then, I wish I could tell you about some of the candidates, and they're going to be on my show. But I can't because, I got this other job. So I got to wait before I could tell you, but it's coming. It's coming soon. And then, you know what? And I hope, I have some friends that live up in the Northeast and they listen to Mondays with Miko. Look, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I've been thinking about this crazy stuff on TV now about critical replacement theory. And I said, I wonder if they got something. Because New Jersey, maybe not Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and what's that? Where Bernie Sanders is from. Very, very blue. Y'all got more blue than you need. You know, the Democrats win those states hands down without even trying. Why don't y'all move down here? Come down to South Carolina. Help us. If you want to change the country, if you want to see Build Back Better, if you want to see minimum wage increased, if you want to see fair labor laws, if you want to see quality housing for all, come down here. Move. Move to South Carolina and give us your vote. I'm just saying, that's a thought, right? All right. Because I love it here, y'all. I'm gonna go on and on. Matter of fact, in one of these weeks, I'm gonna talk to you about the real estate. That's kind of what I do for my day job, the real estate that's available here. It's amazing. I love it. The weather's great, and the beach is right up the street. All right. So fake Democrats. So let me tell you why the primary is so important. Is this because it's where fake Democrats had their heyday. I am convinced that the state house, our state legislature, is so jacked up for us. We can't even look at who's blue, who has an R, and who has a D. You can't do that anymore, y'all, because those folks. Remember, I told you they run in our primary in order to get our vote, so that they have both people on both sides. We need to start being smarter about who we choose to vote for. We need to understand what their platform is. And I'm going to tell you, the folks that have those crazy platforms, like they're against minimum wage, they ain't never going to come on my show. Never. They will be exposed. So that ain't going to happen. The folks I will bring on, they will tell you about what they're going to do when they get them seats. And if they don't, we hold them accountable. That's everybody. Everybody. So right now, we've got the June 14th primary. If you're registered to vote, please get ready for the June 14th primary. Very, very important, okay? Very, very important. And then if you're not registered for June 14th primary, get registered for the general in November. Because guess what? There's a new voting law in South Carolina, and there will be 2 Saturday voting days in October. So we're going to need those of us that are in this business of making sure people know that it's time to vote, make sure people are registered to vote, making sure people get to the polls. We're going to be busy, y'all. There's 2 consecutive Saturdays in which the entire state has to have Saturday voting. So more to come on that. I'm geeked out about that. Everything else, not so much, but definitely very, very excited about that. So that's the stuff what I had to say about voting. And again, I just want to get reacquainted so you guys can get used to us engaging. Let me see if there's any comments. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Don't sell your vote. Yes, honey. We got to get to it. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about today, and then, I'm going to tell you about some other things that I have coming up that I'm working on, is in Marion County, really in our nation overall, right? Yeah, it's great in South Carolina. You're right, Kawana. I mean, I love it here, y'all. We can make it even better if we elect people that are working for us. Can you imagine? Our businesses will can thrive. Our people can work and pay their bills. Housing can be available, right? So quality housing for all. It's about setting those priorities. We could do it. We could do it, but we got to work together and we got to stop the cheaters. We got to stop the cheaters. I may do a t-shirt that says stop the cheaters. But let's talk about just letting stuff go. So we are coming out of some very difficult times for in our country, right? Coming out of the pandemic, it was very difficult. And one thing about the pandemic, it didn't know color. Now we sit here and we see what happened in Buffalo with African Americans that were directly targeted because of the color of their skin. Then we look at what I'm calling the police state. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin. I need to name the names. And remember, I am definitely supportive of our police and our firemen. I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm also a businesswoman. And I know that we get to choose who we hire and who we fire. So in our county, there's a young man, he's 29 years old. His name was Prince King Gurley. He was murdered, killed, shot, whatever you want to call it. He's no longer breathing by a police officer who lives, I don't know if he lives in our county, but he works in our county. So there's been a lot that's been talked about kind of quietly about this shooting, but I'm here to report, and I'm actually happy to report, that the Racial Justice Network is working on this case, and they've hired a civil rights attorney who is working on the case, and we are doing our own investigation. Our own investigation includes facts. So with these facts, we will be having a town hall meeting coming up soon. It's not scheduled, but coming up soon, there will be a town hall meeting. We're going to hold a town hall meeting in Marion for the community members to come to find out what we know. We have the tape, we've seen the tape. What we know about what happened to Prince King Gurley, and how we as a community should have the opportunity to decide who gets to stay employed when we pay the bills. We should have the opportunity to know that if there's a mental health crisis for one of your family members, that they will come out of the other side okay. And I'm not saying everybody is bad. Y'all know I got love for those that will run into a burning building and save us. But then there's those that may not see, that should not be in their jobs, and they should not have the benefit of a paycheck in which I pay taxes into. So there's more to come. There's definitely more to come. And I hope you all will attend the town hall meeting that is going to be hosted by the Racial Justice Network. And I support them. So, coming up soon, some of the stuff that I'm working on, the January 6th hearings, y'all, it's going to be public coming up soon. That's a big deal. We're going to be having conversations about those January 6th public hearings. And I can't wait. It's about time. I'm also following Biden's announcement about low-income housing. And we know that's a big deal in Marion County. A lot of you know that I also do property management. And personally, I get criticized about my rents. And the thing is I just want to, I'm going to break it down a little bit, because folks, you need to understand the houses that I rent aren't low-income housing. The problem is that we need to elect folk that are going to work on low-income housing. We need to make that part of the platform that we demand. Low-income housing, and how about let's increase those incomes? Okay, but we'll be talking about that. So coming up soon, January 6th hearing, I'm just looking at my notes, and then we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be following that whole thing with Biden to see whose doors we need to go knocking on to make sure that maybe some of that, that some of that comes our way. And if you are an elected official currently and you're working on bringing low-income housing to our county, I invite you to come on the show so that you can share this information on my platform, and I think it would be awesome. But until then, we're going to follow it, and then we're gonna find out whose doors we need to knock on until we're able to find adequate housing until it comes our way. All right, for folks that are low income. So that's really it, y'all. You know, I missed you. I missed this platform. I've just been really, really, really busy, but I'm back, and I plan to be here every Monday, bringing y'all the beat as it relates to time for change, as it relates to elections. And the one last thing I'm gonna leave before I hang up today is we need to stop the cheaters. Y'all know who they are. They already got a leg up. And I told you that somebody who doesn't look like us is paying them. And can you say, and I have some friends that are working on that campaign. But me as a progressive, I could never work for somebody who is not for increasing the minimum wage. Never. I just couldn't do it. And I find it hard to believe that the Democratic Party will allow him to be candidate. But they have. So Marion County, what we could do is we could stop them from stealing our election. We got to get out. We got to tell people. All right, more to come. Yes, definitely. Rest in peace, Prince. Mental health is very difficult, and we got to do something about the people who perpetrated his death. Anyway, until next Monday. Mondays with Miko. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. If you have any ideas on what I should be covering on my show, feel free to inbox me just like you guys always used to. Talk to you later. Bye.